Hello and welcome to Beyond the Overalls, a podcast all about the stories, experience and people behind the motorsport marshalling community. As always, I'm Robert Lee, and why do we always say, Dan, as always, I'm Robert Lee, like I've changed my name since the first episode. I've done many things since the first episode. Changing my name is not one of them. You've got a new countertop though.
I have.
Have you moved into your new house yet?
No. Still a building site, but we've got a worktop and a hob and a dishwasher. So the kitchen's
You can cook.
starting to come together.
Yeah. I've moved house and got a new job.
Yeah. This is a little bit bigger.
Yeah, you've got, but the worktop is important. Tell you what though, I'm really looking forward to, I guess, today.
Indeed.
Yeah. Father-daughter duo, which is becoming more popular.
Indeed.
In motorsport.
It definitely is.
I know we've got father-son duo that you spoke about in episode 1.
Yeah.
So are you excited for it?
Indeed.
What kind of things are you going to ask them?
Oh, how they started is the common one.
I'd like to see if marshalling has brought them closer together.
Yes. And how their relationship between the two, sort of outside of marshalling, has developed.
It's a good question. And the last one I'm going to ask is, has Dad managed to embarrass daughter a lot of the race? I think we should go and meet the guests. Should we meet the guests?
Let's do it.
So our guests today, yes, that's right, we've got 2 of them, are Ian and Sienna Buckley. They've not come from the Northern Territories of Australia this week. However, they've come from the Northern Territories of Manchester, all the way from Rochdale. Good to see you both.
Great to see you.
Welcome.
Both.
Both. We've not forgotten you, Dan, don't worry. It's all right, you're still there. Thank you very much for coming on to the podcast. I know we know each other a bit better than we knew Cliffo last week, or last time I should say, if you're watching this at a time. Whenever, yeah. I was going to say on catch up then, like it was Dave or whatever it's called, but it's not. No, it's great. It's great, and it's great to sit down and actually have a chat that, you know, we've probably mentioned in passing at times of how do you get involved, you know, when did you start and stuff like that. But we actually get to sit down and talk about it now. So
properly, yeah.
I'm going to start with you, Ian, because you have been marshalling longer. That's just because Sienna's younger, and we'll get the ugly stuff out of the way. Yeah. So how did you get involved in motorsport and marshalling, and when really?
I've always been a big motorsport fan. I followed Formula One for many years. So my dad was into it. I kind of got into it more than he was. I was reading about it, watching everything that I used to read the books, used to read the magazines. I watched every single session that there was to watch. The internet was just around, and then I was looking stuff up on there, and I wanted to know how to get involved. Really, the finances to actually get involved driving in motorsport, it's steep, isn't it? And I don't think it was ever on the cards for me. I was pretty good in a go-kart or kart. They got really upset if you call it go-kart. And I was chatting to a colleague at work who was a bike marshal, and she opened my eyes to the fact that you could actually go and do this hobby and do something that you love, get as close as anybody gets, and just be a part of it. And so I found out about what she was doing with Race Safe, I think it was. And I explored what that meant for cars. And so I came across the BMMC website and looked at all the information they had on there. I think it was kind of like December, January sort of time, and it was coming up to the usual February training day that we have at Alton Park for the Northwest Marshals. And I went along to that and did a training day, which isn't kind of your standard route, because a lot of people, they'll inquire on the website and do a taster day, have a little tour of the circuit and find out what the stuff's about. I just did the training day and then rocked up on my first day at an Easter meeting for the Formula 3 GTs.
It's nice.
That's a good first meeting.
It's a good first meeting, but it's nice to meet a fellow marshal that didn't do a taste today. Just went, let's go, just jumped straight into it. And then the complete opposite end of the spectrum, Sienna, you got involved in marshalling for Duke of Edinburgh.
Yeah.
What was the process and the thoughts around doing that for Duke of Edinburgh?
Well, you have to do it's like 10 hours of volunteering, and I knew that my dad had always done marshalling, and that was volunteering, and I wanted to try something new because I already did volunteering elsewhere with theatre and stuff. But yeah, I thought doing something new and different would be a good way to start marshalling, I guess.
And theatre and motorsport are two worlds apart.
Yes.
Maybe apart from the drivers who are both They're a bit dramatic at
Yes,
times.
very true.
And was your dad a big catalyst in kind of taking you down the motorsport route and getting you to Alton Park?
Yeah, I think so. I just kind of said that I wanted to try it out, and he was like, "Yeah, let's go do it." So I just went and did a taster day in the assembly area. Was only planning to do like 2 days to fill out the volunteering time, but then really enjoyed it, and then wanted to come back to do more.
The rest is history, as they say.
Yes.
You stuck around for it, and you're at the very beginning then of your marshalling journey, teaching your dad how to flag.
Yes.
Which when I walked past you the other day at Clay Hill at Alton Park, I had to make that comment.
You weren't the first today.
I probably wasn't the first that day.
No.
You're not going to be the last either.
I'm not
no.
going to be the last. But you've had quite a mixed, Ian. You've had quite a mixed experience of marshalling. You've done everything from incident flagging right up incident officer post, even and spent time on the rescue unit as well.
Yeah.
Talk us through that journey.
That's kind of one of the good things about marshalling, is that there's so many different skill sets along the way that you can try your hand at a number of things. So in your first year, you're kind of encouraged to do incident and flagging. And I can't remember how many days you have to do now, but when I did it, it was 10 days on one, 5 days on the other to get your initial grading. And so you found out what you enjoyed and what you didn't enjoy. You can go in the pitch, you can go in assembly. There's so many other roles out there. And then as you progress through it, you can take on a bit more responsibility. You might want to become an incident officer and be in charge of a small group of people. You might want to go and be a post chief and then have to fill out a lot of paperwork and give briefings and things like that, and try and be the person with the best jokes on the day. That wasn't always natural.
You've got a look then of best. When you said best jokes on the day, Sienna was just like, yeah, I get them all at home as well.
Yeah. Well, that's just off the back of a 2-hour race where I tried to tell my whole repertoire. So.
And Sienna, how are the jokes?
Interesting.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's a polite way of putting it back.
Yeah, that's a polite way of saying terrible. Come on, Dad, you're so embarrassing.
But, and then the rescue side of things, you will encounter a rescue team throughout your marshalling career. I'm sure you'll see incidents, as was the case for me. 2009, my second year of marshalling, there was a huge incident at just coming out of Old Hall, Alton Park, where 2 Janetta drivers got together, Carl Breeze and Mark Proctor. Quite a nasty T-bone incident. So I think it was Carl Breeze that had spun. The entire field missed him, and then Mark Proctor was towards the back and didn't miss him and hit him square in the side, which required then race stoppage, everybody out. I think I was holding a tarpaulin at the time just to protect the privacy of the drivers on the scene. And both rescue units turned up, BARC Northwest and BRSAC Northwest, and an extrication was required. And so I saw firsthand what a rescue team does when things go a little bit wrong. And so they needed to get, I think both drivers ended up being extricated on that occasion. There was cutting involved, so they had to cut roll cages and things to be able to get them out. But it was all very calm and professional, and the communication was really strong between all the people to try and figure out what was the plan, how were they going to get these people out safely and get them to hospital and whatever medical care and attention they needed as quickly as possible. So that was my first encounter with a rescue team. And you think that they're this elite bunch of people, and we are. But it's not a them and us. We are one big team, one big community. And if it wasn't for everybody playing all of the individual roles that are available in marshalling, it just wouldn't work. So, as I said, I was holding a tarpaulin. There was people picking up bits of debris. There's people sweeping the track. There's people on the fire extinguisher providing fire cover. And everybody pulls together to do that. And rescue teams in training now will talk about that. It's not a them and us situation. Yes, we may say we need you to step back, but we've got an operating procedure and we will have certain cordons when we get to an incident. So there's like an imaginary 2 meter line, an imaginary 5 meter line, and only the people who are actively involved in getting that driver out of that vehicle are in that 2 meter cordon. That includes me. If I'm on rescue and I'm not doing anything, I'll go and stand outside near the 5 meter. And you'll always get a clerk or a scrutineer trying to wander in, or and we politely tell them to get out of the way. But yeah, it's.
So you said that was your first time seeing a rescue unit in operation. How did you go, that's what I want to do? Did they come and approach you? How did that?
I never thought that I'd have the skill set required to do it, because you think these guys must have like in the fire service, or they've had massive amounts of medical training or something. I was at Anglesey Circuit, track Mon. I don't know how the world.
Anglesey Circuit.
Yeah, Anglesey Circuit. I was at Anglesey Circuit, and I was on my own.
Sorry, Annette, by the way, for pronouncing that wrong.
It was only last night I was talking about it, and somebody told me the proper way to pronounce. It's like a longer O. Track Mon.
We'll go with Anglesey Circuit before we upset them anymore. And we're told not to come back.
So Anglesey Circuit is a bit out of the way. Sometimes it struggles to get the numbers. I don't know why, because it's one of the best circuits to marshal at in the UK. I absolutely love it. The scenery is amazing. Yes, the weather can be abysmal at times, but on a sunny day, looking over to the mountains, you can often miss a flag. But
we have done that.
I was on my own, as you quite often are at school, post 5. And that's where the rescue unit locate more often than not. And so because I was on my own, I was told that the rescue unit were my instant cover, essentially. So if anything went wrong and I needed something pushing out the way, they would be it. I was post chief, I was flagging, and I was judge of facts.
Chief brewmaker,
I had to make the
HR,
brews,
finance, everything.
And Colin Witter came out of the van just to introduce himself, let us know that he was about, and the team would help if anything was needed. And we just got chatting, and we were chatting about marshalling. I didn't know that he had previous chats with other people about potential people who were out on the circuit who were deemed to be good marshals and knew what they were doing and had their head screwed on. I don't know who told him that I was all right, but that was the case. And he just offered a taster day on the rescue unit. And I thought, well, why not? I've tried everything else. I'm always up for trying something new. And I tried a day on the unit, and we got, I think, 1 shout that day. Sometimes you just sat in a van chatting away. And that's great anyway. And with 6 people, 5 or 6 people, depending on the day, drinking brews.
Cakes.
Eating cakes, yeah.
Living the dream.
But ultimately, doing exactly what we all love and on a day of motorsport, you sat watching motorsport for free. Yeah. I'm just doing it in the warmth and dry instead of outside on the bank like you.
And I think you've touched on like a really good point though. Whether you were in the overalls of the rescue unit, the orange overalls of the marshals, you've got a white shirt on, and you're in race control. We are all on the same team. Yeah. It might not look it all the time, but we are on the same team. And you've kind of risen through the ladder and the chain. And how does that feel now to kind of come back down again and be flagging and in assembly with Sienna? Well, let's kind of knock it over to you. How is it being marshalling with your dad in assembly and bossing him around?
It's been good overall, I would say. It was interesting starting in assembly because I don't think you'd ever done assembly before, had you? So when we did the taste day for assembly, that was both our first times there, but I kind of expected him to know more what he was doing because he'd obviously done other things on the track. But it was good to both be learning new things at the same time. And then with flagging, he's taught me more about that, I guess. But yeah, still learning with flagging.
And I think you'll never stop.
No, never stop. No.
You were going to ask a question then, and I jumped over. You look like you're about to ask a question. All right.
I was about to say exactly the same.
All right, I'll ask.
The first time she had to wave that green flag though in assembly, just as they're about to go on the track.
Yeah.
I held my head in my hands.
Should we talk through that moment, or should we gloss past it?
I think we'll pass that.
Well, people think it's dead easy waving a bit of cloth on a stick, but there's a bit of an art to it.
There is.
It's technique.
Yeah, you got to take the wind into account.
It's getting sciencey now. It's getting really sciencey. So when you're in assembly, it's probably a role that not many people will do in the market. They might do it once, just say, "Oh, I've done it," but there's a lot that goes into it. And do you want to, just tell us about it? Just tell us about a typical day in assembly.
Well, in the morning when they're doing the qualifying, you've got the scrutiny, noise testing all the cars, and then the cadets or anyone else who's volunteered in assembly can help with the scrutiny with telling the people in the car like what to turn the engine up to, and they have to write down how like loud the noise is, and you have to go around checking fire pins as well when you've lined them all up, which is good. And then when you're lining them all up, it can get a bit hectic with all the cars because obviously you're trying to keep them as close as possible without, you know, crashing them together. And also there's like, if there's too many cars to fit in the actual assembly area, you've got to start putting them outside, which then like brings other people that are around into it, like controlling the crowd, telling people like there's a car coming, parking here. And then when they're about to go out, and there's like holding up the boards for like saying how long till they go out, and then green flag for if you need one of them before they go out. So yeah, there's like plenty to do at all times.
There's lots to do. And it's worth noting as well that your day starts before everybody else's.
Yes.
It might finish before everybody else's, but you've started before everybody else.
Yes.
And I can imagine that the pressure as well that you'll get from race control at the start of the day, because they'll want to start on time, it can be quite full on quite early in the morning.
Yeah, it's very much start straight away and you get right into it, yeah.
I like that.
So we've spent time, both of us, in assembly. It's not something you've tried, is it? Just wait to drop that in there.
Have you not done a day in assembly?
I have done multiple days in assembly. I have, over at Anglesey.
Yeah. Okay.
I used to be an assembly resident.
I see, Anglesey.
I feel shocked. I feel hurt. No, it's not. Okay. It's a role I enjoyed. It's just not something I've done a lot of.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, very much enjoyed it.
Because we spent, and what surprised me, or I wasn't aware of, is how much there is actually to do in assembly. These people that haven't done any time on the pit lane, the assembly side, any of that, they think, they don't do a lot. They get a few cars in a bit of an order, and there's a lot more that goes into it.
Yeah, I was surprised. It opened my eyes.
Yeah,
because Sienna said about all the checks that you've got to do. You're also looking out for like bits of bodywork falling off cars, or have they got the scrutineer ticket? Have the drivers got the gloves on before they go out on track?
Which
have they got
is
the
very
visors
common
down?
that the gloves are forgotten.
Oh yeah.
New one to me towards the end of last year was, have they positioned their belts correctly over their hands device?
Yes, that was there.
And they might have the hands device on and they might have the belts on, but unless they've got the straps over the hands device, it's pointless.
Yeah.
And there was somebody who didn't have it on right, and then we corrected them. And this year, my first day on assembly, there was somebody who thought that their fire extinguisher was armed, because there's an electronic version and a manual version essentially, and he'd armed the electronic bit of it, but he hadn't pulled the pin out. So if the electronic goes, I need to squeeze the fire extinguisher handle, it can't do it because there's a pin.
Right.
And it kind of happens at the start of the season.
It's a small thing. It's an easy one. Yeah. And then I'd like to ask this question, Sienna. Is the worst thing that can happen when you're in assembly, about 5-10 minutes before the cars are due to release, race control ringing down going, we've got new grid sheets?
Yes. Worst thing, because then you have to run and go and get the grid sheets and then resort them all out. Yeah.
And we could be talking upwards of like 30, 35, sometimes 40 cars. And
thankfully, I've not been in when they've changed the grid sheet that soon. It's only been when we've had like probably at most like 10 cars in and they've changed it. So,
but it's still a moment though.
It's still,
you're like, we're now gonna, and they'll always tell you you've got to come and get the grid sheet. It's never the other way around.
And it's when the drivers know that there's a new grid and we don't know one yet.
And they'll tell them, that's not my number. Yeah. Like, that's what I've got.
And they've got a bit more strict now with the chaperoning side of things, because the reason that I do the assembly with Sienna is because she's under 18. And, I mean, she's 17 now. She can pretty much go in Manchester on her own. But if she's at a race circuit, I've got to be with her all the time. And she's got to be with me. And so now, if somebody's got to go and run and get a new grid sheet, the chaperone's got to go as well, so the parents need to get a bit of fitness.
Is that why you've started doing marathon running?
Yeah.
It's just to keep up.
It's a long way back to that office.
So you've actually touched on a really good point there, Sienna. You're under the age of 18, which it does limit what you can and can't do at a racetrack. Assembly being one of the great things you can do. Flagging being another great thing that you can do. But when you break free of those shackles and you turn 18, have you got any plans of just carrying on marshalling and doing different roles, trying out different things?
I think I'll probably try a bit of everything at some point. Be good to see what I like, if I like doing incident or if I want to stay in assembly. Because there's some people who aren't cadets now, obviously, who still choose to do assembly, which I think is really interesting. Like that you don't have to go out on the track and like be like where the actual like proper racing's happening to really enjoy it and get doing stuff.
Yeah, no, I like that.
So do you think you'll spend much time going back to assembly again? Because you've got a lot of friends in there
Yeah.
that you've made over the time that you've been marshalling.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing with being in assembly now is like all the people that I'm friends with. And when you're like doing flagging or incident, you're not guaranteed to like obviously be with people that you know. You're always with different people. But in assembly, like I feel like it's a really close group of people. It's a really close family of everyone there, which is really nice. So I'd probably do a bit of both assembly and
A
on
nice
track.
blend of the two.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have marshalled probably quite similar lengths of time. I know when I first started marshalling, cadet marshals were probably 2, 3. There weren't many. Now there seems to be.
Now.
There's
Now there
so
seems
many.
to be so many. But surely that's a great thing
Yeah,
for the sport
definitely.
to see, and such a blend as well. It's not just it's not just an all boys club anymore. It's
Yeah,
nice
I
to
think
I think
there's
there's more
more
girls,
girls.
isn't there, these days?
I'd say cadet marshals and boys. Yeah,
to
definitely.
keep us all in line. So talking about friendships and building it around a common community, Sienna, what's it been like for you? You know, making a different group of friends, if it is a different group of friends, at Alton Park, and
Yeah, it's been really good to like talk to other people, not just like cadets, but also like people who are older and have been marshalling for years. It's like a really cool experience to speak to people of all different ages. I feel like I get on best with like the cadets in general.
Yeah.
Because we're all like before turned 16, obviously was just restricted to like, well, not restricted, but could only do the assembly era. So we all sort of had like a common ground there of all like knowing what we're doing there, being really busy and just having a good connection with everybody. And then been out flagging 3 times. Spoke to a few different people on post, and it's been really interesting to talk to different people. Yeah.
it is a nice feeling though when you can have like a little micro community then within a community, and you all kind of look out for each other. So it's really nice to hear that. And
So how has it come across at school in terms of other people finding out about what you do? Have you managed to get any other interest, sort of other people coming in, or
do you just get the question,
why do you do
that?
that? Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of that. People that I'm friends with aren't really interested in motorsport. They'll watch a bit of F1, but when I tell them about marshalling, they're really interested in it and think it's like a cool sport and hobby to kind of be interested in. Some people think it's really random. Like when I've said, well, what have you been doing this weekend? They're showing a picture of me in my overalls. I'm like, what are you doing that for? But yeah, it's like something just different really, that is.
Yeah, I like that. It's nice to have that difference, but then also have that community that goes with it as well. Before we kind of started recording this, we talked about experiencing Ian. I'm going to come back to you on this because you told me a story that essentially, I said, blew my mind. It was a bit of an interesting one. I'm on about the Donington touring cars and 24 hours of Silverstone in one weekend.
Yeah, I think Cliffo said it. We were all a bit crazy to be just marshalling, and we were on the rescue unit, sat watching the British Touring Car Championship at Donington. I think it was the opening round, and we were just having a good day as always, watching the racing, cup of tea, donut.
Singular.
I'm not going to go into that. And yeah, we'd had a nice day. And usually we'll, when we're away with the rescue unit, we'll have a night out. So on the Saturday night, we'll go for a meal together. I mean, that's a little family all in its own right. So we'll go for a meal, have a beer, maybe a couple more, and then go back to the hotel, get up, do the next day, and enjoy ourselves. On this occasion, we got a call from Martin Hunt, who operates a lot of the touring, the rescue units for BARC. And there was a C1 race going on at Silverstone, and it was a 24-hour C1 race. I think they had 99 entries in it.
I remember that one well.
And he said, we're short of a crew to man one of the rescue units on the overnight shift. I don't suppose you've got anyone on the van who'd be interested. And Colin kind of laughed. And me and Sean went, shall we? And so, yeah.
Shall we is as good as a yes, really.
Sean Miller and I decided that we go for our curry. We actually, I don't think we had the beer. So we just had a soft drink with our meal, said goodbye to the guys who were off to the pub, and then jumped in our van and drove down to Silverstone from Donington. Got there just as a C1 had rolled, so we got to race control. And that
must have really confused them when they said rescue unit scrambling, and you just appeared next to them, just like,
we were gutted.
Wrong place.
If we'd have been there 10 minutes early, we'd have been on shift and we'd have been attending that,
Love that.
and it'd been worthwhile. But we got to race control, kind of made ourselves known. Sean won the raffle somehow. I don't know how. We'd been there like 3 seconds. He got handed an envelope with some cash in it.
That must be the best racing raffle entry time frame.
I was
that
well
I've
enough.
seen. Yeah. Did he share any of it with you?
No.
Buy you a drink?
No.
Of course not.
No. It's Thai Welshman. Oh no, it's not. It's from Newcastle. But it'll make him really angry if I say he's Welshman. So yeah, it was about 11 o'clock, and we did a 4-hour stint on a rescue unit, and another 2 cars rolled, I think. But C1s are great because they just get back on the wheels and carry on again. And I think by the time the race was over, I think 98 cars finished that race. But I'll never forget, we got into Silverstone Circuit, and as you go through the main entrance, you kind of go over that bridge, don't you? You can see the track underneath you. The safety car was out, and it was leading all these C1s around the circuit. Well, you could see them behind the safety car, and then you could see the back of them at Beckett's and Maggots. It was that long. It's on the full circuit as well.
Yeah.
And they're only small cars.
It was like the M6 or something. It was mental. Yeah. But yeah, it was. So yeah, we did the 4-hour stint. We got driving back to the B&B we were staying at in Donington. I think it was about 4 or 5 o'clock or something like that. We got back, had about an hour and a half, and then got up and did the second day at Donington. And then we were kind of egging each other on to stay awake because.
Who won that one? Sean didn't.
Oh yeah, we all stayed awake. I nearly caved about 4 o'clock. I was starting to feel it at that point. He said, "No, you've got this far. Just keep going."
You had another coffee and another donut, singular.
Well, plenty of tea. Yeah, it's one of the best things about the rescue unit. We've got the geezer on board. Make as many cups of tea as you like.
See, for anybody who doesn't know what a geezer is, it's a big urn that boils water. It's not just some bloke from London who just makes tea for you.
Yeah,
that's correct.
He's just got a geezer on board. His name's Alan, but he just makes the brews.
Yeah, it was the first thing that was put on our rescue unit as we built it. It was kind of all built around that.
So. We
haven't got space for this. Yeah. So get rid of it. We've got a tea urn. That's all important.
Yeah. Well-being is a priority, because if you're not in a good enough condition to look after people, then you know what's going to happen.
It's really important.
It's really these are the things.
So it's like sugar rush. Yeah. I know, and it's a big joke that guys and gals on rescue units just sit around drinking tea and eating cake all day. And whilst there is some of that, and we have a lot of fun. I had a great day on Saturday. I was at Alton Park on Saturday, and I think it was my first day on the unit for a month or two. And we had such a laugh, lots of jokes and stuff. But when something goes wrong, it's like a switch goes off.
Yeah.
And all of us just go serious at that point. And we're then sort of primed and ready to go to whatever's unfolding in front of us. So we probably haven't seen what's happened. We might just hear panic shouts on the radio for a rescue unit. It might be a little trundle out and check somebody's okay. Or it might be the worst incident you've ever seen in your life. And it's at that point, your training kind of kicks in and you're just thinking, right, okay, you're looking at the front of the windscreen and seeing what can you see, what can you take in? Can you see many cars? What's happened? Has something rolled? Has something gone into the back of it? Is there a car upside down? Are people out? Are marshals with the incident at all? And you're just trying to get your head around what you're about to deal with. You've all been given roles at the start of the day, so Colin will dish out individual roles. So you might be on tools, you might be medical runner, you might be on stabilisation, you might be on glass management. And so in your head, you're thinking, right, what's happened? How am I going to deal with this when I get there? And then you just deal with it.
And there's not many roles in marching. We talked about assembly before with you, Sienna, where your day starts dead early and there's always something to do. Flagging as well, you're always on essentially when you're flagging, and even as an incident marshal, when the car's going past, you're always checking something. There's very few roles. There's probably rescue and fire truck where you go from 0 to 100,
Yeah.
and you've got to be ready for when you get there, and you've got about 90 seconds to kind of
Yeah.
switch on, essentially.
And no two incidents are ever the same either. So you've got a toolkit in your head. You've got a lot of tools on the van. You've got a lot of medical supplies. But you've then got to adapt all that to that situation and figure out what you're going to do. Are you going to keep the vehicle where it is? Are you going to relocate it? Do you need to make space? Can you just ask the guy to get or girl to get out of the car? Are they all right to do that? Is that safe? And that's why when we have got that downtime on the van, we're not just drinking tea and eating cake. We quite often will talk through scenarios. We will go through our personal records, which have got a load of questions in there that you need to be able to answer by the end of the year to do your assessment. If we've got a doctor on board or a paramedic, we'll invite them to give us a bit of training as well, because they've got a wealth of knowledge and information that we can just use and abuse, basically. So they can go through that and take us through, I don't know, airways or something like that. So what are all the things that you need to know about airways if you encounter some kind of incident? What equipment have you got on the van? How do you use it? How do you use it safely?
A lot of training goes in, and it's worth noting for people that if anybody is listening to this and thinking, I'm really interested in that, I'm really interested in marshalling, you started marshalling with either no knowledge of this or very basic first aid. Yeah. And now,
because you've not come from a, like you said, firefighting background or medical background or anything like that.
No, I didn't know how to do anything. I've been trained by people who've been in the fire service, and I've been trained by medical personnel, but I had no knowledge. I just had an appetite to learn.
But again, that kind of comes back to the community side. And saying you've probably got examples of this in assembly where you've come with no skills of no knowledge of something, and actually you've learned something and gone.
Teaching your dad how to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'd say for example, like with the flagging in assembly, like the first time waved the flag wasn't great, but then people just sort of tell you what to do with it, and then you sort of learn from there. And in my first day in my taster day in assembly, it was just got thrown straight into it. I was with Maria, who's one of the cadet marshals. She's very involved in the assembly area. And we just like went round with her for the first qualifying session and race sessions, and just kind of got shown what to do basically. And so she'd show me like, this is how far you put the car, this is how you ask them for a fire pin, and then she'd do one and say, okay, your turn now, and then you just pick it up straight away.
No, and there's probably marshals out on circuit that if you were to put them in assembly, they wouldn't have a clue.
You were on the tannoy. Was it your first day you went on the tannoy?
Yeah, tannoy. I actually really enjoy doing the tannoy. Most of the cadets are quite scared of it. When you say someone needs to call the cars up, then they're like, nope, don't want to hear myself. But yeah, I quite like doing the tannoy announcement. You
mentioned that you like using the tannoy, and that was a bit that you kind of took a bit more naturally, even though your friends are trying to make you laugh and are shaking the hut. There's options where you can be a post chief where you're using a radio operator in race control. Are those two options that you could potentially see yourself in the future?
Yeah, maybe. Like I said before, I'd probably like to try a bit of everything. But yeah, it seems like a lot of responsibility, which seems a little bit daunting, but I'm sure once you...
Let your dad on the rescue unit. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that is responsibility. If they let your dad do it, I think you'll be all right.
Maybe.
You build up to it though. You gain that confidence. Because I was the same when I started. I wouldn't want to go on the radio at all.
Then Anglesey happened.
It was Anglesey happened. And then through work, I ended up on the radios as well. And actually, you get used to it, and you become confident with it, and you're okay. So you just work your way through, and you will build that up.
Yeah.
Anglesey is one of the best places in the world for that, because you do get thrown in the deep end. You do things that you wouldn't normally do.
Yeah, I was exactly the same as you with school.
Yeah.
I got put on school on my own, and they said, you're on your own, there's the radio, but you've got the rescue unit as your backup. And I still remember that.
Well, as circuits go, it's a good circuit because you can see 75% of it.
Yeah.
So you somebody's kind of always got an eye
on a sunny day. You can see 75%.
Yeah, okay. On a rainy day, you can see 7.5% of it. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do remember a day at Anglesey where I couldn't see the track from church. This is an ad, and there's two ways you can help support us. You can help us grow the show over on Patreon by joining Tom and Ryan from as little as £1 a week, so we can get more amazing and cool guests onto the show. Or you can buy a hat, just like this one, over on our official website, alifeinorange.co.uk. The link is in the description. This was an ad, and this ad is over. You mentioned a fellow marshal that works at Haas F1 team, and you know it's proof that marshals can come from any walk of life. You're at college at the minute. You're studying your A levels, which are English literature, Spanish, and history.
Yes.
Look at
That's
that.
a difficult combination, that is.
Yeah, I mean, some people I know can't get their head around English, so that you're doing English literature, which is like all the world are English, and then a completely different way of writing than what we used to do now, and Spanish, which is a completely different language. And we're yet to find people who can master English. Like me, because I don't know where this sentence is going. So I think where this question is going is, balancing college studies and, is it next year you'll be coming into your A levels and being able to manage all of that, and then still being able to go out and march? And it's how are you finding that?
Quite easy, really, because I managed to balance it during GCSEs as well. I just kind of focused more on when it wasn't exam season. I knew I didn't want to be marshalling as much during those days, but I know other people who still just carry on the whole way through, because with studying A levels and GCSEs as well, you can't just be studying 24/7. It's good to have a place where you can just forget about all your studies and have a really separate part, which I feel like being at the racetrack is really helpful for that, because it's just really noisy and you sort of forget about anything else you're doing, especially when you're dealing with an issue. Then you just really focus just on that. But yeah, it's quite easy to balance it, because it's mainly just Saturdays, sometimes both Saturdays and Sundays. But I'm in a band on a Saturday morning, so when I do my marshalling, then I miss that. So I try and put it around more like summer holidays and half terms when band isn't on, so I'm not missing too much of either.
So what band is this? And then we get a bit of context.
It's like rock band type vibe. My sister plays the drums in it, and then I play keyboard and then also sing for some of it as well.
And the band is called
7-Eleven.
Oh yeah, feel free to shameless
7-Eleven.
shameless plug away. And here's a keyboard that we've no, Matt's got the keyboard
They
upstairs.
did first battle of the bands earlier on this year, was it? Or was it
End of last year.
End of last year.
That's pretty cool.
So
How long's that been going?
Oh,
sorry.
No, you don't just
How
sing
long's
your
that been
balance
going?
a lot.
Good question. I don't know how long I've been going.
come up for a year now, is it?
More than that. I think it's 2 years maybe since I've been doing it. But yeah, my sister joined about 6 months ago. I think she joined the actual band. She'd been doing drum lessons there for a while. But yeah, it's really nice being part of a band, and because I joined when they were already a band, and they would just put out a thing, an open day, saying if you play an instrument, come down and play your instrument. So I just sort of self-taught myself keyboard at home, which is sort of what I'm doing
That's
now.
impressive.
That is impressive, yeah.
Which is what I'm doing with guitar now as well, just learning from YouTube, really.
Yeah.
And then, they just said, yeah, you'll do. And then put me in the band. And then you have to, because it's part of a music service, you have to leave when you're 18. So there's been a lot of changes around who's playing what, and different people who are joining bands, going into other bands, part of the music service. So yeah, it's interesting to speak to different people who are played all different instruments in different bands, people who marshal have been on all different sides, flagging or assembly.
I love how you've linked it all together.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really fair. And thinking ahead, we spoke about what the future career looks like. What does life career look like? And is it music? Is it something
with your
else?
college
That's
subjects
a good
and then your
question.
music, you've got such a broad spectrum there.
I don't really know.
That's fine.
She's going to write a
Main
personal
answer-
statement at the minute.
Yeah,
She's
it's not going
stuck
too
on the
well.
first question.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure what I really want to do yet, because I've got so many interests that are more academically based, and then stuff that isn't, with more music and theatre side of stuff. So yeah, I'm just sort of trying everything.
That was up there to
That
theatre.
is up
I knew
to our
where you were going with
next,
that.
our next
Yeah.
question, which is theatre. You're involved in theatre, and where your dad Ian got you involved in marshalling.
Yes.
It seems to have been the other way around, where you've had a costume change, Ian.
I have.
And
Yeah.
And
So Sienna started doing panto at a local theatre group, Whitworth Amateur Musical Dramatic Society.
Again, shameless
Wow.
plug. Crack out.
They do about 3 shows a year, and they've been going to panto with my mum as kids for a number of years.
Sorry
before
to
that.
interrupt though. Can I just point out how good is panto?
Panto's ace.
Panto's
So
one of the
good.
best things ever.
I love it.
Funnily enough, so I used to be on the BARC Northwest committee and chaired it for a short time, and one of the guys in that used to do panto. Phil Hosker.
Oh right.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? I don't know what he did. I don't know if it was the Dame or anything like that, but
I'm going to ask
I
him
think he
next time I
still
see him.
does it.
he does do.
So
Yeah.
that's interesting because you've also got Gillian McNeil, Secretary BRSCC. She does panto.
Oh, does she?
She's part of a amateur dramatic society.
Right.
Heaton Mersey Review, I think it is.
Okay.
And you've got Andy, who's chief flag. Oh God, his surname's gone out of my head. But he's part of the chief flag team. He does panto at the same review as Gilly. So there you go.
Oh, right.
Maybe we're all secretly we're all dramatic, really, aren't we? So
Yeah.
yeah.
So, so you've been watching it, and then she went along and got a part at the age of 14, and because she was 14, she had to be chaperoned. And Lucy, my wife, went and did that for the first year, and she ended up getting roped in sewing dresses and making bits of set and props and stuff. And then the following year, I said to her, well, you're there all the time. Why don't you just get involved and have a go? It looks like loads of fun. And so she joined the ensemble. So they were both in the ensemble together. And I think you had a couple of lines here and there, didn't you?
Yeah.
And then they had a few too many people and she didn't quite enjoy it as much. So I was watching it and I kind of said, I quite fancy having a go. Is it all right? Do you mind if I have a go?
Famous last words.
And not being one to try and do things by ours, I decided that I'd go for a part. So I'm sat on a sun lounger in Kefalonia and this script comes through and all these various parts, and I asked ChatGPT what would be a good part for a first timer to play. And it said Slime Ball, which is like the baddie role. So I learned the lines and I learned a song, and the song was I Predict a Riot by the Kaiser Chiefs. I don't think I'm a particularly good singer, but I had to learn this thing. And,
I don't think we've got the usage rights to even have a few bars. I don't think we
you could have like 5 seconds of it. So
like 4 words.
And so I learnt the script, went along, and I said to Sienna, are you sure about this? Are you sure you don't mind me like encroaching on your hobby? She's like, no, I'll be fine. And that's kind of how it started. So we were there. Well, I did the audition. I didn't get Slime Ball. Instead, I was given the role of the giant. So I was a giant in Jack and the Beanstalk.
Lovely.
I auditioned for the fairy part and got given the back end of a cow. So that was really fun.
Yes. So she was Daisy's butt. In fact, she's got a T-shirt. You should have worn that
I
today.
should have
I
worn
didn't send us a picture of the t-shirts, then we can put this episode out.
Got a picture of the cow costume.
Yeah,
as well.
I did not expect this podcast to get
That's
to
brilliant.
here today.
Yeah.
I'm so happy it has though.
So and so we did 3 rehearsals a week, and we got to learn a load of new. We got to meet a load of new people, learned a load of songs, tried to learn the lines.
Yeah.
And I discovered something else that I enjoyed, and it turns out I can actually sing, or what people have told me. And I was also, they threw me in at the deep end. So part of my role, I had to do this gyrating on the stage to a Barry White number. Can't get enough of your love, babe. And they didn't choreograph it. I had to just come up with my
so it was all
own
improv.
cringy moves. So
lovely.
Sienna was like hiding her in her hand as I'm lurching across the stage making these erotic moves towards a princess. And it was an absolute blast. And I've met some great people out of it. And I enjoyed it so much that I stuck around for the next role, which was Joseph and his amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. And
Classic.
I was one of the brothers, Gad, in that. I also played the baker and ended up being an Egyptian scribe or something.
So a few costume changes as well. So you got
There was at least 3 costume changes. I had more costume changes and fast changes in the panto because I ended up being roped into being a ballerina as well at one point. So
I don't know
this
whether
is
I
a
want to
story-
picture
no,
in
I-
the tutu. Yeah.
No, I don't want to picture the sushi, but but I want to go to Sienna for the story of this. Of how funny was it?
Very funny, yes. Most of the rehearsal spent with me covering my eyes during that scene and also during the Barry White number. So that was very fun. But yeah, you sort of get roped into everything when you're there. People just stay. Like when my mum didn't expect like she was going to join it, and then they say, "Oh well, just mind doing this, just mind doing this," and you sort of get thrown in the deep end with things.
That sounds very motorsport. Marshalling,
Yeah.
though, he's like, "Can you just try this?" It's like such an anglesy way of doing something.
Just
It's
do us
like,
a favour.
can you? And somebody just slides you a radio.
Yeah.
Going, by the way, can you just? Because that's how post chiefing started for me. It was I walked into the cafe and Nadine went, just the person I wanted to, and then a radio appeared, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah. Would you mind?
Yeah. But it's great to see that you've both kind of then been able to go into a different hobby.
Yeah.
And still have.
I genuinely think though that marshalling played a huge role in me having the confidence to be able to do that.
Right.
And I've seen it in Sienna's transference into marshalling the opposite way.
Right.
She got loads of confidence speaking. I mean, she's always been good at talking to adults because she'll engage with friends at her age in the same way that she'll engage with adults as well, because that's just how my friend group works. But when she came into marshalling, because of that level of confidence she got from doing the theatre stuff, from standing in front of 180, 200 people and singing or talking or whatever, it's a breeze to do it, because you don't realise it, but sometimes when you're at a circuit, there are millions of people sat watching, not necessarily you, but they will see every single
they
thing.
are watching you.
Yeah.
Sometimes they are. Yeah. Excuse me. And but even down at Silverstone, there's massive grandstands.
Yeah.
There's 100,000. Was it about 180,000 at Silverstone?
Really,
Was
yeah.
that across the whole weekend? Anyway, there's a lot of people.
No, it's.
It's close to 300,000.
I think it was
across
close to
the weekend.
300,000 across
Over
the
the
whole
course of the
week.
week,
The whole
so
weekend, yeah.
on a day, and it like some of the things that you do at a circuit, you don't realise you're going to do them. So I conducted a stand to do the national anthem at one point at Beckett's. Walking away at the end of the day, it's weird. You've just done the thing that you love. An entire grandstand stood up and applauded all of us. It makes you a little bit emotional to think about it, because all you've done is your hobby and you've really enjoyed it, and they are showing their appreciation for you giving up your time.
I met Johnny Herbert in the pit lane in Belgium.
How did you?
And he lost the Sky F1 crew, but then took his earpiece out, so then he couldn't hear the Sky production team trying to find out where he was. And he when they did eventually find this, he said that 3 British marshals had kept him prisoner and accosted him. It was very much the other way around. It was us trying to get like a word in against Johnny Herbert.
I met Johnny in Silverstone paddock. I'd rang into Radio Silverstone when we were down there that weekend and won paddock passes. And I asked my post chief for a special dispensation to take an hour off so I could have a wander around the paddock. Because you're only supposed to be in there, right, if you are a paddock or pit marshal.
Yeah, yeah, you get a different tabard and
But
wristbands
I
and
had this
everything.
pass so I could get in there, went up to the Red Bull energy station,
Got a
had a
monster.
drink, saw Carlos Senior and Junior.
Brilliant.
Carlos Senior Junior. Lovely.
Is that a circuit you'd like to see yourself go to?
Where?
Silverstone.
Yeah.
So as a marshal.
Yeah. F1, big ambitions to go marshal that one year.
Yeah, hopefully in the future. I think it'd be interesting to watch it from being that close to the track and having some sort of input in the race with like flagging or incident.
I mean, you mentioned it before. It's like you were a small part of it, but then you get people who applaud you or boo you. In the case of one post chief one year at Cops when she radioed in that Lewis Hamilton had done track limits and got his lap time deleted.
I think I might know that person.
If it's who I think it is, she got booed quite.
Yeah.
But then the next lap round he went on pole anyway, so it didn't matter. But it is interesting how you kind of get that fan interaction at an F1 race.
It's great. The atmosphere is brilliant. I mean, the racing's not quite what it was back when I first started doing it, but
I mean,
it's picking up again these days.
yeah. But that's a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
We'll not go
Yeah.
down that route. But any other events besides the F1 that or any other circuits?
So have you done any other circuits?
No,
No,
just
right,
Upton Park
Anglesey.
so far.
Anglesey this year, Ian?
Yeah.
As Sienna's agent.
Well, she said she wants to go,
You could
but
flag for Race of Remembrance.
this is the balance between rescue and marshalling in that.
You just need to find someone else to chaperone. It doesn't have to be you.
Dan,
I
that
know.
sounds like you volunteered.
No, but
Oh, yeah, there.
Job done. So we'll see you on the 13th and 14th of June.
yeah, it took a little bit of convincing Lucy on Saturday to come along and do it because I was needed on the rescue unit. And so, yeah, it'd be nice to do some other circuits. I'd really like to do some other circuits because, one of my favourite circuits to do is Goodwood.
Yeah.
I
Very good
absolutely love the events down there, both at the house and at the circuit.
And a good circuit I've just thought of that you might want to try and look at is Croft, because the assembly area is right next to turn 1. So you could flag if you didn't want to be in assembly.
Yeah.
You just need to make sure you've got another flaggy with you. So then when you need to go on marathon duties to go and get them grid sheets,
Yeah.
are you
There's
both just flag that weekend?
Well, we used to go to Knockhill. Knockhill's a great circuit. Have you done it?
Yeah.
They give you a free pie for lunch. You're asking a Wiganer,
Well,
has
exactly,
he been
yeah.
to Knockhill
Yeah.
or not? Of course, I've been to Knockhill.
We didn't get it.
You did it.
It was only an afternoon meeting. It was literally a half-day meeting.
See, there's your problem.
Gutted.
Go for the full day.
It was.
Don't be
It's
part-time.
hilarious watching the local marshals take a beeline for the iron brew
Yeah.
just to make sure that they've got the can of iron brew. But everybody else goes straight for the pies, don't they?
Yeah. And I'm going to ask these questions. You've never been overseas?
I've been overseas, but I'm not as a marshal.
All right, as a marshal to go to any track around the world, which one are you going to? Which one would you love to go to? Bucket list stuff.
I don't know. That's the end of that one first, I think. I'll have a think about it.
You both looked at me going,
Bathurst
what?
for me.
Bathurst for you.
Yeah, see, I've never been to Bathurst or as a spectator or anything. I've watched a few races on TV. I've been to Melbourne for the F1. I went to watch it in 2001 and that was great. And I hear some great stories from people. Canada seems to be one that's high on people's lists.
Canada seems to be a frequent.
You get very well looked
zone,
after
yeah.
as marshals, I believe.
Yeah. But I think, and I don't know why exactly, but Mexico I'd like to do.
I dig that.
Because it's around Dia del Muerto, isn't it? Or
Dia del Muerto.
Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
Killed it.
So
Is that all right, that pronunciation? Thank you, Sienna. Yeah. So I've got a Spanish GCSE. I kind of dip into that. Yeah. Not to show off. I've not got an A-level in it, though.
Yeah.
¿Cuántos
Neither
años
have I yet.
tienes?
Not yet.
I can't remember what 32 is in Spanish.
No, that's where I get stuck on 14 when I answer that question.
I can tell you when my birthday is. And mi cumpleaños es el 22 de mayo.
Mi cumpleaños es el 2 de febrero.
There we go. And who thought we'd get to here?
Exactly.
Jesus.
I can say hello.
Have you got captions or subtitles?
Yeah. Inaudible.
Yeah. But yes,
So Mexico City. Mexico.
I quite like to do, because it's Austin and Mexico quite often back to back, aren't
They
they?
do the
and
trip-
Canada as well.
Is it the triple header they do Cota, Mexico up to Las Vegas? Did they do that? Did they bounce the three and then
remember
back to
what
back?
they
I know, because I changed it. 'Cause Brazil used to be in. and around
Brazil is the
close,
one I'd
wasn't
go
it?
to.
Yeah.
Brazil.
Brazil.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Only when it's raining though. Not interested in the drive. I want to go there when it's raining. Not thunderstorms, just raining. 'Cause I wanna see-
Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Baku.
Baku. I quite like that.
There's a few marshals from the
There's a
North
few
West,
marshals
man.
have been on there, yeah. And for some reason, my history on my phone says that I've been there. And I think it's because I was stood next to Paul Levitt. I think he'd been. Or somebody had been on my post and it picked it up somehow on my phone at Silverstone. So for the same dates that I was in Silverstone, it was telling me that I was in Baku. No idea how that's happened.
Yeah, you've lost me there.
I lost myself.
Yeah, clearly. Your phone went on the trip. I don't know whether you did. Any places, Sienna, for you?
Not that I can think of.
You could put your
Where
Spanish
would you like to go in
A
the
level
world? Yeah,
to.
do like Barcelona.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Madrid.
So yeah, there's new
Madrid ring,
one in there. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Spain. Japan, just because apparently it's a closed shop. I'd love to go there. That upset them.
That'd be ace.
Yeah. Suzuka, 130. Yeah. I'm going to try and leverage this podcast. Please let me come to Japan. Please. All four of us.
They'll let us, won't they?
Apparently it's a closed, not a closed shop, but it fills up very quickly.
Would you fancy doing Monaco?
So apparently
That's a
there's-
very close shot.
That's a
isn't
very
it?
close shot.
Yeah.
Apparently the restrictions on that of age,
Gotta
fluency
be
in
fluent
French,
and
and
things, yeah.
I've heard someone that you've got to
Parle
pass.
français.
Yeah, right. But me and Sienna, who've got Spanish over here, we're knackered, aren't we? You know, unless they suddenly put a Monaco in like Seville or something like that. I know I've pronounced that wrong. Then we're all right.
'Cause I think France is the same. For the F1, you've got to be fluent in French, and there's age restrictions.
No, because Ben Seaton's been, unless he lied. Anyway, we're going off on a
Anyway.
tangent here.
Well, Le Mans one that I'd fancy going to. I did a French exchange in Le Mans when I was at college.
I know somebody who's done marshalling at Le Mans.
I know quite a few people, yeah.
I've done it.
I wonder
You've
who that
done it,
might be.
haven't
Yeah, me. No, it's one of them. It's a very rare circuit where you can, when you apply, you can pick what post you would like to go to. Whether you get it's a different thing, but yeah, you can pick what post you'd like to go.
And
And
were
it
you
always
with French speakers or a mixture?
a bit of a mix. The most surprising, well, a good friend of mine, Rick, who I met, he was from Belgium. We'll not discuss what his profession is because there are under 18s present, and he was an English speaker. But me and Rick still speak quite a lot now. He's a good friend. Well, what surprised me most is there was 2 Swiss motorsport marshals in a country that's banned all forms of motorsport bar hill climb. That was very interesting.
Yeah.
They were very good. Didn't speak to many of us.
But I bet they lived sort of on the border and went over into
Maybe
another country.
maybe
to do that.
not considered that, but it was interesting. But it was a mix. It was predominantly French speakers, post chief, deputy post chief, and everybody like that. They were French, and then
The Swiss guys, the people you went to when you needed to cut something, did they have their little knives?
yeah, they were just a jack of all trades. Yeah, yeah. Sienna's like, not this joke again. We've had this one. I had this at hour 2 on the Super Cup the other day.
No, we sang through Joseph doing that 2-hour race the other day
Until me and Duncan interrupted you
until you interrupted us.
Sorry.
Yeah. We were doing dance moves and everything.
with the flags.
Yeah.
I wonder why it was Cardiff. It's when the red
That crash
flag.
at Water Tower, that was us.
Drivers coming in and making all sorts of complaints.
I think it's been an absolute pleasure to have you both on the podcast. We could probably sit here and talk for hours. There's probably many more hours in the future that we'll all talk. Sienna, you're more than welcome to come back and replace Dan at any point that you want. When Dan's not here, I should say I'm not like
Yeah, you're getting rid of me already. Yeah.
No, we're not. You're more than welcome. Ian, you can chaperone agent.
Thank you.
I've got to stand behind the camera or something.
Yeah, just make sure that it all runs to time. But yeah, it's been an absolute pleasure having both you on. I'm sure we'll
Thanks for
see
inviting
you.
us both.
I'm sure that we'll see you both at a racetrack very, very soon.
Without a
Thank
doubt.
you.
And hopefully a different one than Alton Park.
Yes.
Yeah. Do that this year.
That was really interesting, Dan, getting to know Ian and Sienna a bit more outside of marshalling, because obviously we know them at the track and we get to speak to them, but to get to
Getting to know them, their outside life.
yeah, and how actually marshalling has played a big part in their relationship in
And brought them together.
yeah, bringing them together a bit more. Sadly, that's kind of all we've got time for in this episode. So yeah, thank you very much for listening and watching along, and we'll see you in the next one.
And don't forget to subscribe to us on Patreon, follow us on socials, and wherever you get your podcasts from.